Namaste, I am Vikas and I'm from IME Digital Solution. And I'm here today to tell you an aching story about a lady called Maya from Nepal. Let's meet Maya. Maya Sunwar, age 29, is a migrant beneficiary living in Chandrahapur, Rothhat, Nepal. She was married at the age of 20 to Mr. Purna, who is currently working as a migrant in the Gulf contracting company at Qatar. Back home, Maya stays with her father-in-law, Ramhari, her daughter, and her son, Dinesh. Maya was married at the age of 20. She did not have much of a formal education. Neither she was ever interacted with any sort of formal financial ecosystem into her village. At very early age, after completing her basic primary education, she simply joined helping her mom with her household chores. And then gradually with age, after 18 generally, she got married to Purna, who was then planning to go to Qatar on a foreign job. So things were going well for Maya. She was married to a foreign migrant worker who was sending money home, and Maya was back home taking care of her kids and the elderly parents at home. She was managing somehow. She was living her destined life. But post 2 years back, COVID hit bad. And worst of it, her father-in-law got contracted with COVID, who was already suffering with tuberculosis. Maya had no saving left because she was completely dependent on the money that Purna used to send her from Qatar. And on the other end, Qatar was also under lockdown and the remittance income was not coming. Maya had no option and she had to sort for help. Where do she go for money? And because she did not ever interacted to a formal financial channel, she had no options of going to a bank or a microfinance and getting a loan to take care of the father-in-law at her home and get her medical treatment done. So Maya was restrained from taking a loan from the local merchant, the shopkeeper at the village, who was already a provider of loan to her husband Purna when he migrated to Qatar. And then the loan is at a very high interest rate. And Maya got into a vicious cycle of remittance debt again. And these interest rates minimum starts from 36% and go as high as 48, 50%. Sometimes the migrant beneficiaries even don't know how much they are paying in as interest. And this is not the story only of Maya. There are hundreds and hundreds of people in Nepal who are a part of this same vicious remittance debt. If you look at the overall picture, 1 in every household is a migrant worker and in a foreign country. And if we add a lot of domestic migrant, the numbers are much higher. Back home, leftovers are the wife, the elderly parents, and the kids. And surprisingly, remittance market in Nepal is still all cash driven. 85% of it is still received in cash and consumed for their daily uses. The problem is not just of Maya or few beneficiaries. The problem is much larger. Remittance contributes to 25% of 30% of Nepal's GDP. 4 million migrant workers are working abroad. Every year, additional almost 350,000 migrants fly out of Nepal for a foreign job. So the intensity of the problem was big. And we as a remittance company and now planning to go into a digital solution were only working in bringing back the remittance money back home. But we thought this is not only going to solve the problem, we need to work beyond and above this. So we are now to provide a solutions to Maya-like problem, working on the pre-migration cycle, whereby we are planning to open 7 centers across the country where they'll get migrants consultancy, they'll get a knowledge on how to upgrade their skills, we'll train them on their financial literacy and connect them to other formal financial channels. during migrations, which we have always been doing, bringing their money safely back home. And now we want to connect them to the digital journey and provide them saving and interest so that tomorrow when they are in need, they can get credit based on that. And we are also working actively in the post-migration cycle, whereby when a migrant returns, he has an opportunity to resettle back into the country. At IME, we are a larger financial conglomerate. We are blessed to have that. And luckily, IME Pay has the opportunity to build all this ecosystem into a platform that can become a digital bank for these migrants in coming year. We are into business for 21 years today, and as of into our network, there are more than 20 million migrant beneficiaries directly or indirectly connected. We have a network of 35,000 agents actively serving these users. And now on our digital ecosystem, there are 3 million app users who are starting to learn to use the products. Why we chose Maya and not Purna, the husband? Because we believe in a Nepalese household, woman is the central of the family. If we can get hold of her and get her in the right direction, she will take care of the rest of the member. We have also been actively working with UNCDF, USAID, Save the Children, ActionAid, and CARE in helping the disadvantaged group and doing small policy level programs and intervention in areas.
Yes, sorry to interrupt you. We have completed the 6 minutes.
Yes.
So right now we can thank you so much for your great presentation. We can invite to the panel of judges if they have any question to your project.
Thank you, Diana.
Yes.
Yes, I'm open for questions now. I've covered most of the part, so happy to be ready to answer.
Yes, I see that Nonsebo, our judge, has a question. Yes, Nonsebo.
Thank you so much, and good morning to everybody. I'm joining you all from the Kingdom of Eswatini, the southern part of Africa. I have a few questions to IME. The first one, obviously, being working from a policy perspective and from an implementation or point of view. So you have all these products that IME network provides. What's the cost to the consumer at the end of the day? And my next question is, I would actually like to see a full suite of financial products. So one of the things about financial inclusion is not just about access, it's taking it a step further, the usage, the impact. Are we changing the lives of individuals or not using whatever financial products and services? I think I need that to be clear for me so that I can actually look at your product in detail. Now, the one other important issue will always be, we don't just provide credits. We're looking for productive credit. How are you changing the lives of these individuals? You can provide me with credit, and we all know from development finance, issues of moral hazard and whereby I will take the money today and do something that is non-productive, therefore not generating income. So I'd like to hear what's the solution around that. My last part would obviously be the interest rate that your financial products would have. What is it? How is it different from the rest of financial products and services in Nepal? And then obviously my last and my final comment is, what is different from IME, from the rest of the AFI, from all digital solutions? Thank you.
Very, very interesting take, Hadabe, and I'd like to answer. I picked up 3 key points. One was the cost to the consumer, second was the productive credit, and the third was the rate of interest. So just to put a perspective, I am here challenged with 2 bigger picture. Number 1 is educating this migrant base to a digital journey or to a formal financial ecosystem. Earlier, what is happening is there are 2 costs of sending money back home. One is the service fee, and second is the higher FX interest, higher FX conversion that the migrant pays in the host country. We cannot do much on the FX rate because that is controlled by the sending partner, but we do have a share on the sending fees from a foreign country. And today what we are doing is whatever portion that we receive as a part of the sending fee from the sending partner, we give it as cash back to these migrant beneficiaries. So we are trying to, we cannot go end to end in solving the cost to the actual consumer of bringing the remittance money back home, but we are doing our best and sacrificing our part of the income in giving back them as benefits on the cost that they have paid as service fee. I completely understand on the productive credit ecosystem, and I don't want to build an ecosystem where the original intention is to take them out of this vicious remittance debt, rather than give them credit which is required. And especially we are working with a health tech aggregator, whereby we are providing them credit for cashless health insurance. We are working with a school ecosystem, whereby their school fees can be taken care. These are the two most critical requirements of Maya right today. If those two can be taken care, the rest she can still manage. Moving ahead, what needs to be done for credit is we want to help Maya build a small business use case into her community and her society, so that she starts learning to earn money. And once she has an option in her village community, that will also open door for Purna to come back and resettle back in Nepal and grow the business from there on. In terms of interest rate, there are multiple legs here. Right now, Maya is taking interest as 36% plus. If she goes to a microfinance or a cooperative ecosystem, the rate of interest in Nepal is 18%. If she has the option to go to a bank, today the rate of interest is 12%. I cannot assure you that I'll bring it down than a bank, but definitely I'll bring it much closer to a commercial bank. I hope that answers your questions. Anything else that you need me to add, definitely there.
Vikash, thank you so much for your valuable answer. We completed the 4 minutes and dedicated session for the Q&A. So definitely we will contact you then with Nonsebo after this session to continue this interesting dialogue. But unfortunately, we have only 1 hour and 30 minutes for 5 finalists, so we should move to the next finalist. Thank you so much, Vikash.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you, judges, and thank you all the participants, and good luck.